Breaking news. Booby traps are being discovered on death towers as we speak, according to authorities. They say razor blades and spikes are being left for telecom workers. I mean, they've already got a very tough job out there, ladies and gentlemen. 250,000 telecom workers are burned, according to the insurance industry, every year due to this radiation. Of course, when you're right up to the death tower, it cooks you much quicker than being a mile away. But look at these readings here, ladies and gentlemen. In front of the microwave oven, we're getting about 15 milliwatts per meter squared. When this guy brings the tri-field meter up to the window, it's off the scales. We're getting reports of up to 100 milliwatts per meter squared right now in your downtown areas, thanks to the upgrades with the 4G LTE and the 5G. 100 milliwatts, ladies and gentlemen. That's 5 times worse than being right in front of the microwave oven while it's on full blast. You're getting cooked out there. And it's no surprise that people are leaving booby traps for these death towers. It's no surprise they're burning down these death towers. And if you do a search for 5G or cell tower right now, pick your platform, Facebook, ScrewTube, you will find nothing but positive reviews. That's impossible. I mean, these things are burning down. People hate death towers everywhere. But you search for cell tower, 5G, it's nothing but positive news. It's nothing but whitewashed results to manipulate you. And that tells you everything you need to know. They don't want any sort of dissenting opinion. They don't want any sort of objective analysis. They don't want any competing ideas when it comes to this technology, because there's so many billions of dollars at stake. You know, these telecom giants, Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, Sprint, you name it, they spend billions every year, as well as, you know, the cell phone manufacturers, Samsung, Apple, Huawei, you name it. They spend billions of dollars in TV commercials, on Facebook, on ScrewTube. I mean, these platforms wouldn't exist without telecom dollars. And neither would, you know, many of these politicians. They wouldn't exist if it wasn't for the money. And it doesn't matter how dangerous this technology is, ladies and gentlemen. They're never going to give you an opportunity to opt out. There's too much money in it. And so once again, it's money over safety. It's like the Teflon, it's like the lead in the paint, it's like, you know, big tobacco back in the day, except now it's big telecom. And they're all selling you the same story. Oh, it's safe, it's, you know, perfectly natural. You know, and experiment after experiment, scientific study after scientific study proves that this technology is fucking deadly. And you can see it right here before your very eyes. Wi-Fi on, Wi-Fi off. This stuff is a killer. And there was a study that just came out in the mainstream media just the other day. They said just the new street lights raise your cancer risk by 10%. And of course, they're shaving off the numbers. They're rounding it off to 10 when it's really like 50. Just the lights, just the LED lights. And there's tons of studies on, you know, the blue lights from the television, the cell phones, and the like. They cause cancer. They interrupt the sleep cycle. But you go look out there, you know, for information, and it's all been, you know, wiped out. Like a glitch in the matrix. They've just wiped it out. You can't search for it. You're not allowed to see it. And you have to wonder, you know, what's going on? It's all about the telecom dollars. Or is it more nefarious? Are they trying to actually kill you with this technology? Is this part of their Georgia Guidestones? You're not allowed to ask the question. The question in itself is now labeled hate speech. You hate, Verizon. You hate Sprint. You're a fucking bigot. You're a fucking racist. You don't like the telecoms out there. And so they suppress everything with these fake labels like, you're a hater or you're a racist and all of that. How many of you have owned fucking slaves lately? Anyone? Have any of you owned a slave lately? Let us know. But they treat it like, everything is, like the movie Roots. We're all out there just whipping fucking slaves and we're abusing the telecom industry and the like. It's fucking nonsense. And there's probably a few people with anger issues that make the rest of us look bad, but that's besides the point. They've reinvented racism as if it just appeared for the first time, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody is a racist. Everybody's a hater. Nothing is allowed. You can't talk about anything out there these days. It's either their opinion or you're a hater. Quite literally. No exaggeration. Everything you say that's contrary to Sodom and Gomorrah, that's contrary to their Luciferian program, it's hate speech. You're not allowed to dislike them. You're not allowed to say no. In fact, you can't opt out of any of their eugenics programs. They love you so much they want to kill you. And if you object, you're a fucking hater. Pardon my language, but it's been one of those days out there. And so, what is the video guy doing? On vacation, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure that just got messed up in the stream. It's okay, video guy. In any case, ladies and gentlemen, the evidence is quite clear. These death towers are exactly that. And so is the rest of their eugenics programs. It's death out there, and they're trying to infect you with it, like their Wuhan supervirus. And it's so obscene these days. Their eugenics programs are so obscene, so in your face, so obvious, that it's really, it's criminal to remain silent. Allowing this to continue is literally an act of suicide. And so we must continue on. We must push forward. And as difficult as it might be for everyone out there trying to wake people up, we have to continue on and we have to organize. It's one thing to, pass on some information. Like, hey, these death towers are bad for you, pass it on. But at some point, people are going to have to organize. And they're going to have to literally show up somewhere and take a stand. And our justification is really right there in the Declaration of Independence. It says, any government that stands in the way of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness is tyrannical, and it is the right of the people to abolish it. And look, this system is so corrupt. I can't imagine anybody looking at it like it can be salvaged in its current form. Both political parties are absolutely, under the control of the devil itself. These people are quite literally agents for the devil. And they've infiltrated every branch of government. They've taken over the media. They've taken over the corporations. And it might seem like a big fucking extravagant, delusion out there. Just pay attention to the television. It is 24/7 product placement for the devil. If it's not one sin, it's another. Desperate housewives, murder, death, kill, lie, cheat, robs, That's all they do is promote evil, for the most part. And, the level of, of that product placement is just beyond words, ladies and gentlemen. And essentially, you just have to read between the lines, and you can see, the Luciferian symbolism. You can see the ideology and pretty much everything they say. In fact, they're all flashing you the devil hand signs. They're all telling you to say, 666 feet apart. They're all chilling at 666 Fifth Avenue or Bohemian Grove, or inviting Marina Abramovich over for some kind of spirit cooking dinner. Be sure to bring your, your sperm and your blood and, and your pentagram. And you can tell, how they're promoting the Sodom and Gomorrah everywhere. That these people are just not on your side. But the entire system is like that. And it's now become weaponized. And it's now targeting Christians. It's now full-blown persecution out there. And you're financing this persecution. You're financing this discrimination. You're financing this hatred. And they've got you by the balls. I mean, they literally control every aspect of your life. Government regulates everything in your world. You can't name something that isn't regulated by government. Your job depends on these Luciferian corporations. I mean, every aspect of your life is now infected with their system of control. And these people are a cult of death. They want to kill everyone. And they've put it on the Georgia Guidestones. They're going to eliminate 95% of the people out there, and that process has begun. And that's why people are burning down death towers. That's why they're saying no to the vaccines. That's why they want the fluoride out of the water. That's why they want to eat organic. Do we say fluoride out of the vaccines? Look, that's why, you just can't opt out of their eugenics programs. They're out to kill you. And this, bioweapon, this Wuhan supervirus that they've just released and infected everybody with, is just another example of their intent. And so we're probably, the people that are awake out there are probably a minority. They're disorganized. They're just waiting to get picked off. And we're just out here like a voice in the wilderness saying, prepare yourselves, brace yourselves for impact, because the shitstorm is coming. And while, truthers out there as a community, as a demographic, are having an effect, things have obviously changed quite a bit since 9/11. And, we're going the right direction, essentially, but we're just not there yet. And unless we really hit, the afterburners on this movement, we're not going to make it. They're going to stall and buy time until they can roll out their Terminators and their Robocops and their cyborgs. And until they automate, basically the food supply and, other essential goods, until they really prepare or are ready for the final solution. They're going to keep buying time. They're going to keep us divided, fighting each other. But, the rollout of these Terminators, these Robocops, the Skynet, and the like, is just a few short years away. Time is running out. And you can see that it's becoming more and more difficult to organize. It's becoming more and more difficult to just go outside and get fresh air. They had you under house arrest for months, and more is coming. Few people doubt that there, won't be a second wave. Maybe we could say, you know, most people feel like there will be a second wave out there. You know, you see the laws that they're passing, HR 666 and the like. You know, they're planning to go door to door. They're planning to force vaccinate you. Oh, what is this? This must be the best video of the day. Look at this one. This one just totally got messed up. Now, it looks like a tornado. Maybe it was something else. But I have a feeling that humans are not the only ones that don't like these death towers, ladies and gentlemen. They're anti-life. They look like weapons. They're, you know, synonymous with the beast system, with the devil itself. That's what these death towers are. They're weapons of the dark side, weapons of the devil, planted in your neighborhood to kill you. Radioactive trees, if you will. Nuking you 24/7, cooking you. And the levels now are through the roof. And if you had a meter, you would know. You know, pick a meter, get a meter. We don't care which meter you get. You know, you want to go get the, you know, the tri-field meter. You want to go get the gigahertz solution. You know, you want to spend $400 or $500 on a meter. Go for it. The EMF 390 is only $129. And it's pretty much, you know, the cheapest one that actually picks up the death towers accurately on the market. Fits in your pocket. Looks like a cell phone. You don't make an ass of yourself with a huge antenna, you know, and the like. And, you know, as soon as you find out what you're getting dosed with, you'll never be the same. You'll never be the same. You thought it was bad watching this shit on television. You thought it was bad, you know. What is this? Oh, they sell them on Amazon for $148. You can get them through us on our website for $129, stfnreport.com, or on our Facebook page, STFN Reloaded, or, you know, that's it, pretty much. So, check it out.
And the sharing of biased and
false news has become all too common on social media. This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
I mean, it's full-blown matrix out there. All of these script readers are telling you the same thing, and you know, it's just another sign of the times. Every city has become like a carbon copy of every other city out there. You know, it's the same restaurants, same franchises, same stores, same look, same everything pretty much everywhere you go now. And it's like, you know, the city has literally become the Matrix. There's no escaping it. And these death towers are like your geofence. And people, you know, they don't want these in their neighborhoods. They want to be able to opt out. You know, this radiation is penetrating you. It's going through you, quite literally. And you have absolutely no say about what's violating your body. You understand how weird that is? Be sure to like and share. We're now broadcasting on the backup page on the ScrewTube. The main page has been frozen thanks to these communist, you know, hermaphrodites. Pasty white, nasty. Can't even tell what the fuck it is, you know. And of course, saying that is not anything but the honest truth. And truth cannot be hate speech, ladies and gentlemen. If it's true, it's true. And if you can't take the truth, go fuck yourself. You know what I mean? That's just the way it is. Big breaking news. They say the death towers are being booby-trapped with razor blades and spikes. And some news reports are saying that they're finding razor blades on these caution warning signs. And I'm not sure what's worse. People that would put up a warning sign like that with razor blades, or people that would want to take down a sign like that warning you about the dangers of these death towers. That's a head scratcher, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? How's everybody doing out there? Want to give a big shout out to everybody that actually found us, ladies and gentlemen. Michael, Vincent, Afisha Haynes, you found us. Karen, you found us. Mind for knowledge, you found us. Just the truth, you found us. SCDHL, what's going on? Uncle Freddy in the house. Susan, howdy. I know I saw Bev in here earlier. Want to give a big shout out to Bev. Mind for knowledge, everybody, Capsule. Scorpio Moon. Willy Wonka's in the fucking house. What's going on? Marco, what are you doing? Lisa, how's it going? And many others. And, you know, we got to give a big shout out to Mike Hartman on the Facebook page, who's always saying hi, never misses a show. And we see you, dude. We haven't been able to broadcast on the Facebook for quite some time. And, you know, every time we go on air, it's like hacking the matrix, quite literally. We got to get the broadcast depth. We got to get the codes. And we have to go through proxies. You don't even understand what it takes to put this broadcast on air these days with all of these communists trying to hunt you down. And, you know, these communists always think they're in Nazi Germany fighting the Nazis. So from their perspective, everybody's a Nazi. But truth be told, the Nazis were socialists. They were socialists, you fuckers. You don't even understand what a Nazi is. If you had any clue what a Nazi is, you'd shut the fuck up. Because Nazis, you know, if you look at the History Channel documentary, Nazis and the Occult, actually it was called Hitler and the Occult, you would see that they were all into black magic and shit like that. They were all like Marina Abramovich. And who did they go after? Oh, the chosen people in the Bible, of course. That's what the devil does. That's what the dark side does. It goes after people of faith. And who are they going after now? Christians and Jews, of course. People of faith. That's what it's really about. It's not about Democrat versus Republican. That's just the illusion. That's the mirage. What they're really after is people of faith. Why? Because they're the fucking dark side. And they're trying to, you know, give birth to the empire like in the movie Star Wars, quite literally. And the beast system, like the book of Revelation. And the Matrix, like the movie. And Terminator, like the movie. You're going to get nothing but bad news with these people. Guaranteed. You'd have to be the world's dumbest fuck up in the, you know, period, to buy into the television. If you feel like you support Republicans or Democrats, the actors that you see on television, you are the fucking problem. And, you know, going back to 9/11, that was supposed to be a big wake-up call. Hello, you don't live in America. You don't live in the America you were taught about in school. Or whatever country, you know, you live in. That's just an illusion. It's part of the mirage. You're actually on the plantation. You're actually in a concentration camp. And instead of gassing you with Zyklon B, they're gassing you with Zyklon C, coronavirus. And Zyklon D, death towers. And Zyklon F, fluoride. And Zyklon V, vaccines. And let's not forget Zyklon P for pesticides, neurotoxins. You know, the first chemical weapons were birthed out of the pesticide industry. They're like, hey, it kills bugs. I wonder what it does on people. Ha ha ha. Check this out. Even the Bureau of Labor Statistics doesn't believe its own numbers. I mean, did anybody find it kind of odd? Like, oh, we just got 2.5 million jobs in the middle of the massive fucking civil war? Where did those jobs come from? And in the jobs report, I'm not sure if you saw this. We talked about it a couple days ago. They were like, oh, yeah. No, in fact, there's probably like a huge error in these numbers, but we're going to publish it anyways. Quite literally, that's what they said. So the numbers are fake. Everybody knows the numbers are fake. And yet people are just like cheering it on. Here, take my money. Go, invest it. The billionaires have never been so fucking rich, while people are looking around and they're like, their stores are burned down, shuttered up, everybody's infected. And on top of that, you're still getting dosed with the fluoride, with the vaccines, with the pesticides, with the death towers. I mean, every American citizen right now is literally the biggest fucking loser in the history of humanity for sitting there and grabbing their ankles and just, you know, spreading their cheeks wide and saying, please fucking penetrate with your death towers. Please penetrate with your eugenics programs. Is that a little graphic, ladies? Huh? You feel, you know, feeling like that was a little much? Probably right. Video guy's pissed off too. He's telling me like, what the fuck are you saying, man? Any case, I mean, everything is so fake. Now they're saying that Trump's support level has fallen to Jimmy Carter levels. So Trump's support falls to Jimmy Carter levels. Look, I'm not sure how many people out there are still buying the propaganda. But odds are there's no chance in hell this president will get reelected. And we're going to be faced with creepy fucking Biden come this November and next January. And that fucker's got a vendetta against each and every one of you that ever liked and shared a creepy Biden video. All of you are guilty. And they will show you no mercy. You thought 2020 was bad. They say Project ZYPHR wasn't actually, you know, going to hit its climax until the winter of 2021. Now look at Dr. Death over here giving you the devil hand signs. Now this fucker wants to force vaccinate you. And he's not even a real doctor. But chances are they're going to turn on their, you know, their virus once again this next winter. You have a few short months to prepare. I don't know how many of you fuckers out there, pardon the language, have already forgotten about the lockdown and the war crime of infecting everyone with their virus, but they're going to come back for more. That's what criminals do. That's what crackheads do. That's what serial killers do. They don't stop, ladies and gentlemen. They come back for more. It's a lifestyle. Now check this out. Active duty U.S. Air Force officer accused of killing a Northern California sheriff's deputy in an ambush-style attack and was the leader for the military base's elite security force. Now you'd be surprised as far as what the veterans and military service members are really thinking out there. You'd be really surprised. And look, you're starting to see it. And you're seeing it, you know, on the news too. The Pentagon's telling the White House to go fuck itself. And, you know, rightfully so. Now, we're in basically uncharted territory here. Unprecedented times on so many levels. And it's sad to think that, you know, Americans are going to start killing each other over this shit. But you know what? They've been killing each other over, you know, worse things for many years. You know, how many drive-bys, how many murders every year. Now, all of a sudden, you know, everybody's got a cause. Everybody's got a cause. Everybody's a militant out there. And it's almost to the point where everybody's become a fanatical radical that would make ISIS blush. Everybody wants to put somebody's head on a fucking stick right now. And you don't have to admit it. But you know it's true. It's only a matter of time before this boiler explodes. And you have to wonder when. Will it be the Boogaloo? July 4th, bring the guillotine. Why? Plandemic, bitches. They tried to kill your ass. Check this out. Ice Cube. Look at this. Ice Cube is posting all of the Freemasonic orders of the various police forces out there. It is literally the New World Order police force trying to choke you, shoot you, arrest you, penetrate you with their cavity search. Uh-oh. This girl, she can't breathe, y'all. She's having a little trouble getting around. She needs that mobility scooter. She needs that oxygen. And as easy as it is to make fun of people like this, these people are victims of the system. They've been force-fed, fattened up like, a Thanksgiving turkey. And you have to wonder who's for dinner. You're for dinner, bitches. The question is, who's going to eat you? Will it be the Antifa? Will it be the communist, the cult member, the Luciferian next door? Imagine for a second if schools actually taught you something useful these days. How to cook, how to garden, survival skills, how to do your taxes. Instead, they teach you how to be, what do you want to call it? A hermaphrodite. How to be a metrosexual. How to be a complete fucking, retard, basically. And they'll make sure of that. If you don't have your vaccines, you can't continue. And they don't even teach you, real math anymore. It's surprising that these people that graduate high school today can even speak the language. And most of them can't. You listen to them, it's really not English that they're speaking. It's something else. It sounds like English, but it doesn't make any sort of sense. And it gets worse because they've been doing this for years now. While you've been busy playing video games, they've been mass indoctrinating children in America. And, it's been going on for generations now. We probably have at least 30 years worth of retards running around out there. And what makes it worse is that, most people under 30, they never knew the free world. They never knew the pre-9/11 world. If they did, they were just little kids and, they didn't really experience it. But that means 1 out of 3 people, just about every young person, never knew the free world, hasn't a fucking clue about what's going on. That means it's up to us, Generation X. If you're pre-Y2K, you're all that's left. That's the sad truth of the story. Now, there's a few young people that are awake. Some of them are, getting there. But, most of them are not on your side. Most of them are waiting to plug into the Matrix, to get the brain chip, quite literally. Yeah, it was funny to see how, far some of these videos went. This wasn't from us, but it got quite a few likes and shares. And so feel free to, go through our video archives. And if you got any video skills, make some clips and, put it out there. We need each and every one of you to be an ambassador for the cause. And, the reason is because we're ruthlessly honest. We don't give a fuck. We're not supported by Nike or, things like that. And so we've got a little more latitude. And there's nothing wrong with telling the story for what it is. They've been warning you for years, ladies and gentlemen. And now it's finally happening. Now it's, finally, happening before your very eyes. And we could just redo the whole pandemic, the Fauci fingerprints on the virus. Where did Fauci go? As soon as that mainstream media report hit the internet, Fauci was funding gain-of-function research at the Wuhan lab, gain-of-function research on coronavirus at the Wuhan lab. As soon as that came out, Fauci disappeared, the coronavirus task force got shut down, and all of a sudden it was like the fucking riots. And, now people are just so confused. What's going on? What's happening out there? And undoubtedly, now that the George Floyd case is being exposed and the like, something else is going to come along. And usually when they, take down, our channels on Facebook and ScrewTube in a coordinated way, something else is coming along. And, the worst is yet to come. That's our personal opinion. That's what it looks like. It doesn't look like it's going to get better or normalize anytime soon. And, they're going to keep, swinging people around, from extreme to extreme. And, there's more to come, ladies and gentlemen. CBC Canada reports how the Boogaloo movement rose from an internet joke to an armed movement in the U.S. And look, it's painfully obvious that this system has become like a runaway train. That the country is sinking like the Titanic, and these people on television will never save you. Just pick your side. It doesn't matter. They're not on your team. You're not on their team. You look at Nancy Pelosi's district, what a dump. You look at all of these Democrat cities, what a dump. You wouldn't want to live there. And, you look at the Republicans, and they're just all too eager, to roll out death towers, to frack in your neighborhood, to, spray you with their pesticides. Whatever makes them money, they're good for it. They're good to go. And, they can preach whatever they want to preach, on television. But at the end of the day, they're not part of the solution. They're part of the problem. And nobody in their right mind would, do what these people have done in the name of money. And it's not just like the frack wells everywhere, and we did reports of frack wells on school property, and, students are dropping dead, like literally are just passing out right there at school due to the fumes. It's not just things like that they're terrorizing you with, and, and the other, domestic programs. But look at what they've done internationally since 9/11. Look how many genocides they've dragged us in Iraq and Syria. And the Republicans were all on board, You had the 9/11 administration go into Iraq. You had John McCain and Lindsey Graham setting up the ISIS with Obama. Quite literally, Benghazi, running the guns in. And look, they fucked things up so bad in Syria and Africa. Right now, there's literally slave trading going on in Libya today. Black people in cages being sold for money into slavery, happening today in Libya, in a country that we quote unquote liberated. And you don't see, any of the Black Lives Matter or any of the libtards, protest that. Why? Because it happened under Obama's watch. And that, that just screams hypocrisy. It's like watching the crowd of black people lynching some poor white dude with a MAGA hat. They're fucking retards. And that's not hate speech, that's the truth. They won't protest the slavery in Africa. They won't protest or, loot because of the shit that's happening in Africa. Black on black crimes, they don't give a fuck. But when it comes to, other things, then all of a sudden they're looting. Very selective anger, ladies and gentlemen, and it's all political. And it has nothing to do with, really what's right. And I think, anyone out there preaching Republican or Democrat talking points is disingenuous. They're controlled opposition. And they might not even be real people. For all we know, they're probably just like AI or just actors getting paid. But they're on a whole different agenda, and it's not about politics. It's about the Bible. It's about good versus evil out there. Massachusetts police chief lies face down at urging of BLM protesters. What's this guy thinking? All these people, from the city are just laughing at these cops. You can just see the memes now, pig in a blanket and shit, right? Just wait, they're coming. And, you got you got these people flopping around on the pavement, dancing, for, the gangsters, if you will. And, this isn't justice. This isn't, this isn't going to make you feel any better. And, now they're going to try and strip down law and order in these big cities, of course, in the name of public correctness. And look, they're going to get exactly what they deserve. Don't try and stop them. They want to defund their police departments. They want to go out there and loot their shit and steal and break shit and shoot each other. Don't fucking stop them. Just get out of the way and watch it happen. Ladies and gentlemen, this isn't checkers. This is chess, bitches. And if they want to get shot for a pair of sneakers, fuck them. Minneapolis City Council votes to dismantle toxic police force. Yes, it's toxic. Nobody really likes them these days. But you know what? The fucking the things that you see happening in the city are much worse. How many people have seen, like, you know, real acts of violence out there? You know, it's nauseating. It really is. You're like, whoa. All right. And somebody's got to take out that trash. Now, look, people deserve due process. People deserve their day in court. They deserve a justice system that works. But we don't have that either. The whole system is fucked up. And that's why there needs to be a reset. There needs to be a boogaloo. And the Declaration of Independence is our justification. When any government stands in between you and life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, it is the right of the people to abolish that government, to abolish that system. And I suppose, you know, the reason this guy's flopping around is because he's supposed to be a public servant, but he doesn't look like much of a public servant. He looks like the court jester. He's making a fool of himself. And, you know, he's making everybody look bad. And it's just like, you know, what's next? What's next, ladies and gentlemen? You know, where's the limits here? Well, we could just go all day on this. Big news, Department of Justice officially demands Prince Andrew be questioned about Epstein links. And so, you know, what are they going to ask him? Why don't they arrest these people and let the prosecutors work it out in court? Let them be interrogated on the stand, ladies and gentlemen. They've had, you know, over a decade to put these cases together, and they want to ask questions. That quite literally brings us back to yesterday's news. Be sure to bookmark our website. You never know what other pages are going to go down. So we'll find new locations to have a show, and we'll post that information on our website, stfnreport.com, on our Twister feed for as long as that's still there, Stranger Than Fiction News, and the like. But look, I mean, you know, these communists are on a rampage. They figured out what's going on. They're just starting to hear about the boogaloo. They're just starting to figure out that people understand what's going on, and now they're like, what do? Well, let's fucking silence everyone. So that's their response, is censorship and defamation. Because, you know, they took down, you know, our show from yesterday on the ScrewTube, and they're like, that was hate speech. And they gave us a strike for that, and we wrote them back and go, you know, what part was hateful exactly? You know? And truth is not hate. Truth is not hate. Now, you know, they may object. They might find it insensitive. You know, fuck you and your feelings, bitch. This, you know, the First Amendment doesn't say anything about your feelings. It talks about free speech. It means what it says, and it says what it means. There's no asterisks there. There's no conditions there. You have free speech as long as you feel like that's okay. And so it's free speech, free assembly, free press. It means what it says what it means. And look, I mean, these people, you know, have got to go. These communists have got to go. This is not a communist country. Breaking fucking news. This is not a communist country. We need to round up these communists on fucking slave ships and send their ass right back to China where they belong, because they don't belong in America. You know? And look, you may not like what this country stands for, and it's your right to do what you feel like as far as, you know, your method of protest, but everybody's got that right. And, you know, there shouldn't be, you know, the censorship that we're seeing today. No person in their right mind would want to censor their fellow Americans. And what are we finding out? Oh, well, these companies like Fakebook and ScrewTube are actually proxies for the Chinese, for the communist Chinese government. And look, you need to accept that. And, our press and our, flow of information is being controlled by the communist Chinese thanks to, front organizations, terrorist organizations like Fakebook and ScrewTube. And people need to be aware that these corporations are proxies for communism. And they're enemies of the state. And they're fucking terrorists as far as we're concerned. That's right. Fakebook is a terrorist organization. ScrewTube is a terrorist organization. And they're soon probably going to be enemy combatants. Quite literally, ladies and gentlemen. Until the next time, if you're listening to this, you